we are doing ever so well. So we're down to the last 6 varieties that we are going to sow this side of Christmas. So this side of winter, we have got the cold weather lovers, which are the larkspur, the wild carrot and the Orlea grandiflora. They germinate really well in fluctuating, quite cold temperatures. So I'm going to leave those ones for now and do instead this week the poppies, the Agrostemma and the Cerinthe. Now the Agrostemma grow much faster than the cornflowers, funnily, because they grow quite quickly, don't they? But you've seen nothing yet if you haven't grown the Agrostemma before. So I always sow my cornflowers first, let them get going, then sow my Agrostemma, because the last thing I want is them to get too big before I get a chance to plant them out. So now is the perfect time. Fast forward, it's now the beginning of June and the poppies have started to flower. Although it's the seed pods that we're really waiting for. This poppy just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. No matter how much light you give poppies, they are quite a messy seed to get started. So once they start germinating, if they're laying all over the tray a little bit, don't worry about it. Just push the tray to one side so you can't see it and leave them alone, and you will be astonished. In a couple of months' time, you'll be looking at in the greenhouse at the most magnificent seedlings and you'll think, what are they? And they are the poppies. So sow them and then just leave them, just make sure they've got enough water, but other than that, just leave them to get on with their own thing and they will surprise you and be magnificent plants ready to go out in the late winter, very early spring. I thought you might like an update on my Cerinthe patio pot. Look at that, isn't it spectacular? Finally this week, the Cerinthe. Now these turn into huge plants really quickly, so we don't want to start them too early. Otherwise you're going to have to transfer them into quite a large pot. If you have started them already and they are getting along to be quite big plants, what you can always do is put them in a patio container, which is what I did last year. So once they get really big, if they have to be planted out in January, you can put them in a patio container and then you can either cover that if we get a really cold spell, or if you can, pick it up and pop it in the greenhouse. So that's a good option. But if you're starting them now, then you're right on time and they should behave themselves and stay a reasonable size until we get a chance to plant them out.